Today I'm going to be talking about the 1999 Gamera released by SH Monster Arts back on November 25th, 2018. I'm a little late to the reviewing party here, but it's a really nice figure, so I thought I'd give it a little spotlight. This figure is from Gamera 3, Revenge of Iris, and honestly, it's one of my favorite Gamera designs out there. Here's the top, the side, the bottom, the other side, that front though, and the back. I really like this box's sides, but the back is kind of lackluster, just stereotypical SH Monster Arts kind of stuff. Now, without further ado, let's get into the figure review. The articulation at the head is just fine, something you'd expect from SH Monster Arts, but this paint job is absolutely terrible. Come on guys, you can do better than that. It looks like someone pissed all over his mouth. The rest of the body has great sculpt and no bad paint issues. I think it looks awesome, and I like the way he's chunky. His arms look just fine, and there's plenty of articulation to go around. The only thing I don't like is there's this weird fleshy gasket between the arm and the body, and it always sinks in and it doesn't really look that great. I don't really know why they have it either, honestly. The rest of the sculpt is just fine. I like the way that he has this little weenie bump right here. It makes the rest of the figure look more like a real turtle as opposed to some of the other flat Gameras out there. The sculpting on the legs is awesome, and the rest of the body is totally fine. I like his articulation on these legs too. There's not much to it because you kind of have him in one pose, but it looks good. There's sculpting on the feet, which looks awesome, and I love the way they did the nails here. The paint, of course, is great, and I love this kind of light gray dry brush over the whole figure. His tail has some gapping there, which I think is kind of annoying. I didn't notice it before when I got it, but I'm okay with it because he just kind of drags his tail along anyway. You're not going to get him into too many crazy poses with that tail. The teeth are great. These spikes, I think it's awesome. His jaw is nice. It does wiggle a little bit, the jaw, from left to right, but you expect that. He's a good boy. I like him. The shell on the back is awesome, though. I mean, look at it. It's like a crazy alien spaceship kind of thing, and the sculpting is just, it's incredible. And the back of the tail, too, so good. I love the way this thing looks. It just, I have no bad comments about the back. The tail is one of my favorite parts because the articulation in it is so nice and tight, and just, it feels like I'm holding quality. The tail can also bend up about that far. Not too far, but it's good enough for Gamera. The head has some really nice ball joints inside of it, and it enables him to look up a little bit about that far. It's fine if you want him in a swing pose, but for the flight mode, his tail is actually going to be removed using the added accessories that they have for this guy. So let's get into that, shall we? Here they are. There's a stand, a little fire thing, some fins, and his tail that I mentioned, his arms, and you also get the fire fist from the movie. Now before we get to dismantling our figure, let's take a look at these handy dandy instructions that are provided with it. I didn't really look at these too much because the whole process is pretty intuitive. Grab the right arm and yank it off, and make sure you keep that little plastic bit with you. Then what you want to do is grab the other side and copy the process. Grab that leg on this one and pull it out. Then you want to grab that other leg and yank him off as well. Grab his crotch, yank forward to remove this part. Then what you want to do is you want to grab the tail and yank that. And now you have a turtle that doesn't have any arms, legs, or a tail. That's okay because we're about to give him a new tail, a flight tail. Take it and snap it into the back like so. Then go ahead and grab his arms and click them into place. This is pretty simple, just make sure it looks like it's right. Snap them in, no problem, there's not much articulation here. Then what you're going to do is you're going to remove these little platelets on the bottom of the turtle. Make sure you don't lose these because these are very important for its normal form. Take them, put them to the side, and then grab these fins which have corresponding little sockets to them, and stick them into the turtle. Once you got them all figured out, put them in their corresponding holes. They should face backwards, kind of like a shark fin. These are for his little stabilization flying maneuvers or something like that. I don't know. It looks cool though. And now you're ready to go. Just like with many Monster Arts, he has an effect base, which snaps conveniently onto its little resting cradle stand thing. Find a position that you like it in and squish that guy down, and there you go. Nice little stand for Gamera to rest on. When you're placing Gamera on his stand, make sure that the stand is on a level surface. You see, it doesn't really snap in, so any rocking or movement might actually tip him over. Honestly, I didn't think I would like this form, but now that I see it in person and I can, look at it from all angles, I think it looks pretty dang good. I don't quite understand what's going on with the bottom here. I know this is the effect they use for all kinds of stuff, but for Gamera it doesn't make sense because the waves are going forward when really they should be going backwards because he's flying forward and the dirt picks up backwards. So I don't know. Kind of funky to me, but whatever. It looks fine. It looks cool. I wish they came with like a fire breath piece, but whatever. Here's the back of the figure. Here's kind of the all around of it. Again, looks great. No issues here. Now that we've seen him in his flying pose, let's get him into his final fighting pose, the one with the firearm. Simply reverse everything you just did, step by step, without breaking anything. Be careful, because this guy is special. Now that you have the naked turtle, what you want to do is just put everything back. Click this in there and there and there. Make sure that when you're doing this, everything's lining up properly. This tail and the crotch bit that goes here, they took a long time to get all lined up. That's why it's at an angle there. And just take your time with it. You don't want to break it. Just, you know, take your time, have fun with it. Take the arm, make sure that gasket's on there correctly, and put him into place as well. Now with this other arm, what we're going to do is we're going to replace 2 of the joints with this fire hand. Pretty cool. It's made out of a translucent orange or yellow material. The top joint of it is actually just not painted, it's raw, and it looks great, honestly. Great sculpt, same sculpt as the normal arm, but just fiery. And then the lower one has some gray paint on it to match and blend into the body. So what you're going to do is remove the first 2 top segments of the right arm, making sure that that double ball joint is still in there, and snap on the rest of the arm. Make sure everything lines up because it can be kind of tricky at times, but once you get it, you got it. And honestly, it's pretty easy. Snap it back into place and there you go. You're ready to fight Iris. I think this figure is awesome. I love his little fire hand, his little fight pose, and his pose ability is great. Paint job could be a little bit better, but it's alright. If you want this guy, you could probably pick him up on eBay for way too much money, but you can dig around at local stores and they might have him. Overall, he's a wonderful figure, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and more to come on the Junk Drawer.